guys. Okay, so I got a comment about my long readings, and the thing is that I do get comments about, can you please shorten these? Because I have people that like to listen to my readings, but they don't like them being so long because they have a short amount of time. Time is of the essence, is how it goes, right? So what I'm going to do is I put out a long reading. I'm going to do a short one. This is going to be kind of a quick message. This is going to be about your person because I know this is something else that people have been asking. And I've been putting these readings off. I've been kind of just listening to my guides, and the direction that I'm needing to take has kind of been focused away from focusing outside of yourself. But yet I just still do those readings of who's coming towards you, what's coming towards you. That's more of you being able to prepare yourself for what's ahead. This reading, we're going to focus on your person's energy. We're also going to take a look at your energy as well. So you're going to be on the left side of me. Your person's going to be on the right. I don't know which is which. The roles could be switched for you guys, so take it how it resonates. Now we're going to choose from 4 different piles. And like I said, these are going to be the quick messages. And I'll try to do these in between the long ones. So we'll see how that goes. That's my best of intentions there with that. And we are going to use the Twin Flame Audio Oracles to pick a pile. If I accidentally pick more than one card here, I'll just leave it in that pile. There's a lot here, so okay. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we have. Pile 1, a loyal companion. Okay. Pile 2, a long list. Pile 3, soul family. And pile 4, collector of hearts. Okay. So if you need to look at the times or the thumbnail, you can see what else these cards say. I just didn't want to have to say all of them. Since these are quick messages, I will cut some things short in this reading. So if you need that meditation, it's right after the intro as always, and you can, meditate on a pile. Make sure you set your intentions about who you want to hear about. And yeah, all the timestamps for all of this will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose a loyal companion, it's interesting here. This is like Dorothy here, and you have Toto. Toto is her loyal companion. It makes her feel comforted or supported as she's going through this scary looking forest behind her. But this says loyal and devoted, unconditional love and protection. Okay, so let's see about your reading here. Now I have 2 different decks. I'm just going to use my regular Rider-Waite Tarot, and then the other, I think it's called the Wheel of Fortune Tarot, that I always use on my desk. And we're going to first take a look at your energy. Now remember, these roles can be switched, so stick around for the other person's energy to know for sure or not if this is your reading. So how are you currently feeling about this person? Now this card here to me represents actually the connection itself. So a loyal companion. You may feel like this is a relationship you want to protect, or you may feel very, devoted to this person, or unconditional love for this person. You feel like this person is a loyal companion, or you see them in this way. Okay. Pile 1. How are you currently feeling about this person, the person that's on your mind, pile 1? 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands. So you may be going back and forth at this time about making peace. If there's been some sort of conflict that's gone on here with that 5 of Wands. Overcoming the challenge here. are giving up. You see all these wands here? That's some very intense energy. Why is that 4 wands there? The star. I think that you may be kind of going back and forth in your mind here about healing the situation. You do see that 5 of swords, so I do feel like even though you may feel still loyal to this person or feel like they're a loyal companion, or maybe this is how you're seeing this person, you're still confused or conflicted about giving up on this, or making peace here with something. Could be in a place to where you're giving up fighting and you're just trying to make peace. But with this being the 4 of Wands, which is about that union, with that star being there, it's like you're hoping for this peaceful foundation or peaceful exchange here, or reunion even with that 4 of Wands. How are you seeing your person? The Emperor. So you see them as a divine counterpart. How are you showing up in this connection? The 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. So again, so you see this person as a match. Like you see this person as this companion here, but you're like going back and forth in your head about whether or not this is something you should give up on or you should fight for or not. That 5 of Pentacles here is like coming out of the cold, coming out of that feeling abandoned. So how are you showing up in this connection with that 5 of Pentacles? It's like you're trying to come out of the cold of this, you know, or you're trying to, like, you want to have a positive outcome take place. You see these 2 5s here, so there has been some sort of change, heavy change, or significant conflict that has occurred. With that Emperor and how you're seeing this person, you could be seeing them as them being in a position of control. Can you give me a clarification on that? Can you clarify that, Emperor, please, at how you're seeing this person for pile 1? Yeah, the 3 of Cups. You may feel like this person has the upper hand at this time, or you're still feeling like connected to this person. You still feel this relationship or this bond or this connection to this person. I feel like you have good intentions here. How are you showing up here with this 5 of Pentacles? Clarify. The Magician in reverse. But you don't really know what to do in order to kind of change the situation. So that's what leads you to this thought process of, okay, give up here on this fight, give up on this back and forth here with this 5 of Wands, and just hope for peace, you know, to be here eventually. Tell me more about, that's Aquarius energy, Aries, and Virgo, Gemini. Tell me more about, okay. Wow, guys, y'all have the 5. Wow. Y'all literally have all the 5s out. So there may have been a Tower moment that you shared with this person. That 5 of Swords in reverse with the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is really like showing me this is about, should I fight for something here, or should I just walk away from this? Should I just hope that eventually things find a peaceful foundation here, find a peaceful ending, or should I fight for something? I feel like you're just kind of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But you don't feel like that you have what you need in order to... Tell me about that Magician in reverse for how you're showing up. Yeah, the King of Wands in reverse. You're not confident here in this at all. So the lack of confidence is leading you to not want to put in any kind of effort, because you know it's going to be a fight, basically, to win this peace, or your foundation, which is what you really want. Bottom of your deck is the 6 of Pentacles, which is about offering or giving to someone. And there's the 8 of Wands No more one. There's the Tower. I told you. And the Ten of Swords. There may have been a brutal ending here all of a sudden. And it may have been communication that came through here, something that happened very quickly about an equal give and take, or offering someone else something that caused this painful ending or betrayal. I do feel like that you feel like this is a significant loss. You have a King of Pentacles with the Ten of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So it's like the King of Pentacles is losing that Ten of Pentacles. Or this could have to do with your own sense of security or foundation. And if you're seeing this person as some sort of sense of secure foundation, then this may be something that happened very abruptly and unexpected. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at your person. 8 minutes in. So far, so good. Look at that. Judgment and the Five of Wands is already out. There is a conflict here. Had to do with loyalty. That's why we have loyal companion. This Five of Swords and that Knight of Cups can look like a betrayal. You know, someone going elsewhere, going in a different direction. This could be something that you're afraid of, or this could have been what caused this Tower. Okay. Let's tap into your person's energy. For pile 1. For pile 1. So I'm having a hard time getting out of your energy. I feel like that this person showing up as the Emperor, how you see them, I feel like you feel like that they were someone that was very compatible with you. I have the Ten of Swords and Three of Swords, like two of the most painful cards in the tarot. This is about being stabbed in the back and then releasing pain and forgiveness. Okay. We want to know about pile 1's person. What is their person's current thoughts about pile 1? What is their person's current thoughts about pile 1? Oh my gosh, wow. This may be fresh. Five of Wands. The Three of Cups. You have the Three of Cups on your side too. This may have to do with the third party situation or an influence, something influencing this dynamic between the two of you and where your loyalty lies. This person is, there's this, that could have caused some kind of disagreement here. Like friendship or community, you know. Tell me about what that Five of Wands is for this person's thoughts. The Sun. Something came to light. I feel like that this person feels like they're seeing something clearly. They feel like they've seen something clearly from this Five of Wands. So whatever this was, confusion, conflict, a disagreement, this person feels like they have gotten clarity from that. Why is the Three of Cups here? The Temperance in reverse. This person, this is about feeling imbalanced with that Temperance being in reverse. Sagittarius energy, you have Leo here too. This is about feeling imbalanced, even frustrated or upset, you know, because you still feel this Three of Cups. It's still upright. You still... And if this was around like part of this disagreement, then that's something that's obviously there with the frustration or the imbalance here. So this person may have felt like because of this outside interference in whatever way that it caused an imbalance in the relationship, and that's why they're frustrated. But for others of y'all, this is like, and it could be the same, there's a lack of long-term vision here, but there's still this understanding of the friendship or the connection. But it's funny because I feel like that in itself is even frustrating for this person. So I don't know how you're connecting with this person. Maybe you connect with them through work or community, or friendship, or something to that nature. But there is like this imbalance around this and confusion around this, because it's still there. You know, that feeling of that friendship or connection is still there. It's like somebody saying, ugh, why do I have to care about you? And they're frustrated because they've, what came to light here when this Five of Wands? The Magician in reverse. This person may feel as if, and this may be your side, so take how it resonates, okay? I'm just reading the cards. You also have the Magician in reverse. So with you having the Magician in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse, with what it is, how you're showing up, I feel like this person feels like what has been seen to them is they're under the impression of being manipulated, or there's some sort of manipulation that's been going on here. Can you clarify that? Gemini and Virgo, the Hermit. They may have done some research or done some, been like, you know, really doing some digging, some introspection there. Some soul searching. This could also just simply mean this, what's come to light is that this person's realizing that you don't have what it is that they need. Okay, so how is this person seeing you in this connection? You have a Page of Cups in reverse. Ouch. This is a card of emotional immaturity. It says it right here, emotional immaturity. This is like someone that feels like you're blocked from being able to understand something emotionally. That's a more graceful way of putting that. They feel like you're not capable, or you're not ready, or you're just not seeing, or you don't want to, or you just can't. This is also like somebody that acts out emotionally in spite of things, not really necessarily taking into consideration someone else's feelings or concerns. Okay. How are they showing up in this connection? How is this person really showing up in this connection? The Ace of Cups in reverse. They're suppressing their emotions. They feel like they're blocked from being able to really express themselves or show their love. They feel like they've lost an opportunity here. Look at that. It's the Four of Cups. Together you have 5 cups there. So that's about feeling a loss, you know, feeling sadness, really regrets, like there were mistakes that were made. And I don't want to say that this person feels like this relationship was a mistake. I feel like that they do feel as if there were things within this relationship that were a mistake. I feel like this person may have gotten to a point where they felt like they couldn't actually feel or express their emotions in some way. And if this is someone that's very emotional, which you do already see a lot of cups here, then they feel like that they may have gotten bored in this energy, you know, not having to suppress their emotions, not being able to feel their emotions or feel something from you can put them in a place to where they start to feel aloof, you know, start to feel a little bored with the relationship. I mean, I don't know why that is. This is how they're showing up. It feels like this person just wanted more emotionally and they weren't able. Why? Why were they not able? The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This says imbalance in work and family commitments. There was something practical here that created an imbalance in this relationship. So this person has this understanding that it's kind of like they wanted something they couldn't have, or they got kind of tired of waiting for something. Like there was just this imbalance there. It's here twice, especially with Temperance, where it created an ability to see something happening in the long term. I think this person maybe became somewhat impatient around perhaps a reunion or connection or coming together. How does this person really feel about you? Wow, there it is, the Tower. They feel like they've had some sort of sudden realization. You have it too. I mean, what is the Tower, Scorpio energy? The Two of Cups. About the relationship? What about the relationship? The Knight of Cups in reverse. Y'all are both, y'all both kind of understand what's going on here. You're just seeing things differently. This person feels like that this relationship may have been somewhat unrealistic. Like maybe they feel like they may have also felt like with that Tower, the sudden realization that, and this isn't going to be everybody's story, you obviously know. They may have felt like you've had a relationship elsewhere, you had a relationship elsewhere outside of this one. And that was like this sudden change that took place, or shift of how they're seeing you, how they feel about you. They also could feel like that you changed up on them very quickly. Like all of a sudden you started being different within this connection. You were no longer as attached to them. The Queen of Swords in reverse. You may have been like cutting this person off or out. Or this person may have cut, it depends on what happened here, but this person may have cut you off if they felt like, I don't know, I feel like this person feels like that you were getting your needs met elsewhere, somehow. Wherever that is, however that is. It doesn't have to be another person, but I do feel like for some of y'all this has to do with another connection in some way. Or other connections in some way. This is a card of being like very cold. So I think this is a feeling of you going cold on this person. Okay. The Seven of Swords just fell out in my lap. I think this person feels like there was some sort of, obviously, some sort of deception, or just others. This is someone that doesn't want to have to compete for your attention. And I feel like they think maybe that's what was going on, is they were having to compete, especially with that Four of Cups in the reverse. This is being self-aware that a relationship is not giving you what you need because you're having to suppress your emotions within it. Yeah, look at that. Eight of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Hierophant is there too. That Page of Pentacles in reverse. That can be a card of loss, losing an opportunity to have a new beginning, you know, feeling a sense of loneliness within the dynamics of a relationship with that Hierophant. Having, like, in order to have what you want from this, you have to conform to this idea of not getting what you need, and being stuck in your head about that, why that is. I do feel like this person feels like you've changed the dynamics, or you changed up on them, and they feel like they have an understanding of why that is. And for some of you, it may have to do with there being some sort of outside interference in that, or deception even. Okay. What would this person say to you if they could say anything? Yeah, we don't share the same values. So that might have been what's sudden here for this person. Whatever that means to you guys. Maybe they feel like you want different things. Support. Maybe it has to do with supporting each other. Lean on your inner circle at this time, and strictly sexual. Yeah, okay, that's dead. That's pretty straightforward. I think this person feels, I scared myself that day. It's a shadow side. This person may have acted out of their shadow self or reacted because they were in their head here around this commitment in some way. I feel like this person, though, this is someone that feels like the two of you don't share the same idea. This says this connection is passionate but not enduring. So it may have had these loyal feelings for one another, but somehow or another the connection and the dynamics just turned into strictly passionate or lustful instead of being a supportive relationship. And that's something this person feels like's not what's important or what they value. Okay, so take how it resonates, guys. You could be on this side, you can be on this side. It's up to you. Okay, so what can we expect for the future energies in this connection moving forward? Third party. Yeah, I mean, that's some kind of an interference here. Finances. Maybe finances were an interference here. We saw that there. Imbalance in work and family commitments. And ghosted. Disappear. Rejected. Well, I mean, I feel like that there's in the future of what we're seeing here is that there's some sort of interference that takes place. It could have to do with finances or, you know, money issues, or it could just be like the material things or work. And, you know, this energy of silence. Going quiet here on each other. Yeah. Let's get some advice. This could have to do, you know, with the future energies being this focus elsewhere with this third party energy. It doesn't have to be a person. It could just be the both of you like focusing on other things, other areas in your life that are giving to you or that you need to give to, and this silence here happening between the two of you. Tell me more about the third party. We have fun here with 39. So that's like trying to take your focus off of like using that third party and basically using that outside interference or other energies to try to take your focus off of what you're feeling. Why is the finances here? True love, number 3. So with this true love and finances, I feel like for some of y'all, you're just kind of more so focused on what it is that is giving to you and what is supportive of you. Even if that has to do with material things, it's just like this is what your love is, or this is what your focus is, you know, at that time. You have spy here in the number 15, so I feel like the hands, look at the hands. With ghosted and silence, you may be spying on this person, they may be spying on you, possibly to see if, with this balance card here, if you found balance or if you're in a balanced place. Maybe seeing if you're still upset. That 5 of Wands that came out. Where are we at? 26 minutes. It's longer than I wanted, but let's see what the overall energy for advice is moving forward. Uh-oh. Someone new is coming, number 28. An important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and heart so that happiness can enter your life. I do feel like and this may not be romantic for some of you. This could be somebody that's coming into your life that may have a very important, profound effect on your own happiness in some kind of way. I do feel like if the two of you, whatever you are focused on, it may be very different. You know, one of you may be focused in on one thing and the other person may be focused in on love, you know, and maybe a new relationship. So just take that how it resonates. I do still feel like the two of you are still spying on each other, though. Okay, that wasn't really advice to me, so let's get some advice. Can I have some more advice about this connection? Sure. It gave me a whole bunch. Take your power back. You are giving someone control over how you feel. Your happiness should only depend on you. Then you have pay attention to the red flags. Know the warning signs of what an unhealthy connection looks like. And unrequited feelings. There is not enough love to keep this relationship going in a healthy way. I feel that way. And not that the two of you didn't love each other or don't love each other, but there's not enough of that. You know, love is a verb. It's a verb. It's an action. And I don't feel like there's enough of that action being taken place in order to maintain this connection. And that could possibly be why that Five of Wands is here to begin with. Okay. Oops. So y'all may be moving in different directions away from each other, you know. One of you could be moving towards something new, someone new. One of you could be moving towards it just depends on what your heart desires. What's in your heart. For them, for you. Okay. Oh boy, you have a lot. You have the donut here, so something special, unique, or different may be coming your way. You may get some kind of prize here, some kind of a I always bring my kids donuts for a special day, so there's something special coming. I'm not a morning person. You have the vial, so make sure you take your medicine, I want to say. This is also about, you know, doing something good for yourself or something that you need. You have the peach, so loving your butt might be here. Working your booty off could be here with that peach. You have the mermaid's tail, which is kind of being in between worlds where you're coming out of one situation and you're kind of going into another, but you're not completely out of one and into the other yet, which we see here. And then you have yeet or be yeeted. So it's like this idea of knowing like you need to, you know, move along basically, or, you know, it's not good for you to stay stuck on something, especially if it's something that's not supporting you or giving to you in any way. You have FOBIART, art. Maybe some of y'all need to work on your art. My art is here. I art, my art. M, Y, and C. This can also be a W as well. We have boy here. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. There's a lot of stuff here, so. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here. I hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this. And I hope to see you soon. Oh, I'm sorry. Totally screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, sorry, guys. There you go. Just take a picture, pause it right there. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose a long list, high maintenance, unrealistic high standards, and never satisfied and hard to please. So if this is your situation, this is what you're feeling when it comes to your person. One of the things that really stood out to me was the never satisfied or hard to please. So you may really feel like that this person is someone that has their standards maybe very different from yours. Maybe not necessarily that they have high standards. For some of you, maybe they do. But I feel like really what it's pointing out is this, that you may have different types of standards or what you consider realistic standards. But the one thing that really highlighted here was the hard to please. So you also have these crows here, and there's so many of them, and there's also a full moon there. And it's almost like there's so many different perspectives or ways to look at the connection between the two of you, that it's sometimes it may get really emotional, because it's like you have some sort of an idea of something, and then it's like it could be this way or that way or this way or that way. And it may be something that's just kind of hard for you to keep up with, so it becomes exhausting, you know? Okay. Okay. So, with that being said, we're going to tap into your energy first. And for y'all, I'm going to use the, there's a Nine of Swords in reverse. So, you may feel somewhat kind of tormented here about, or being just overwhelmed because of there being so many different ways to look at something, you know? You may have had a cycle close out with this person. This could be why you're in this energy. Trying to figure out what the lesson was here. So let's take a look and see. This is the, I believe this is called the Fortune Tarot. I think some of you may be kind of fighting some of your feelings here. I'm not sure what I mean by that. Always remember that the roles can be switched. So I'm going to start with you here on my left, but you could be on this side. So kind of wait till we get to this side here, and see if that works for you. Sometimes that just tends to happen, depending on what perspective you're needing to see. Okay. So how is pile 2 feeling about their person at this time? The Sun in reverse. So you're disappointed here. A lack of clarity, perhaps. There's the Hierophant as well. So there may have been like a long-term connection here. Some of y'all may still be in this connection. You do have Taurus and Libra and Taurus and Leo here. I guess maybe Libra, since I said it. This could be where you're trying to figure out what was the lesson here. I do feel like that for a lot of you, the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, you may have had something very long-term here. This was a long-standing relationship that you shared. Some of you may have even been married to this person. But there is this is like, what is it that you're losing? So, I mean, obviously there is this understanding here that you have of being disappointed, because you do feel like this is a significant loss, or this could be a significant loss depending on your situation. And like I said before, I feel like you're in that mindset of trying to figure out what was the lesson here in this, or what it is that's important to you here. Okay. How are you seeing this person currently? You feel like this person's really holding back from you. Kind of blocking you out. How are you seeing this person? Ten of Swords. So I feel like that there's been an ending here, but for some of you, if it hasn't ended, it's like you have this feeling that it will. But either way, I feel like this is something that's really painful. So you may feel like that this person has their guard up, and they may feel stabbed in the back. You may feel stabbed in the back. There was just some sort of significant painful ending that occurred. King of Wands. You feel like that this is someone, for some of you, you're seeing this person as someone that perhaps really hurt you, and you're trying to kind of, you may feel like this person has been selfish. And you may still have a sense, like, attraction to this person. You may still feel like this person has some good qualities about them, but you also feel like this is someone that kind of puts their best self forward, and that's kind of really all who they want you to see. And there's a lot of other things about this person that may or may not have came out here. I mean, I feel like that this is somebody that is, there's a feeling of still respecting this person in some way for some of you. I know that's not going to be everybody's message, but like there's things to respect or that you do respect about this person. But I just feel like the backside of that is that there's been so much. Have you ever like met someone and you really enjoy and like that their character is a certain way, and they can come across as this King of Wands, which is this Leo energy, of, you know, being very passionate, being very driven. You know, they always have goals that they're looking forward to, and that they're trying to push towards, and that's something that's inspiring to you, and you like that nature about this person, you know. But the flip side of that is that sometimes they can come across as being, you know, selfish, or their expectations or their standards are just unrealistic in some way. And there's a very different side to this person, and I think that you've seen the other side to this person, um, and it's, you know, there's either been a significant ending around this, because of that, or this is something that you feel like is incredibly, you know, incredibly painful. How are you showing up in this connection with this person, Paul 2? The Ace of Swords in reverse. You're somewhat confused. Okay. The Five of Cups just came out in reverse. Some of you may be confused about what you should do here. Should I move on from this? Should I just accept what is here? I think a lot of you feel like you can't meet this person's standards. Like you can't meet this person's expectations that they have, especially if they're showing up in this King of Wands. It doesn't matter if they are feminine or masculine. They're showing up in an energy of, basically, the King of Wands is somebody too that is like, they do really care about who they are and who they represent themselves as, who people see them as. They really care about what it is that they do have. You know, that they're in this energy of, you know, they care about their appearance and they care about what they have to offer or show. But I feel like that is kind of making you feel as if you're not able to bring that same energy, or it's just the way this person makes you feel about it. And there may be some insecurities or some projection that's going on there. But either way, with that being said, you are sitting in a place now where, okay, so for some of you, there's been this painful ending that's occurred. And now what? You know, and there is this confusion around this about moving on. Not having a lack of having a lack of clarity about what exactly has transpired here, and what to do or which direction to go, or really like, you know, okay, so I have to pick up and move on here, but what even happened there, you know? And it's hard to kind of move on when you don't have that information of what exactly caused this this ending to occur in the way that it did. And it's also difficult because I feel like this has been something that's been ongoing for a while, with that Ten of Pentacles being there, or this is someone that you saw a significant potential in. And you may also be wondering if this person has moved on, not knowing if this person's moved on from this or not. Okay, the bottom of the deck is the Fool in the reverse. So there's a part of you that may feel somewhat restless. I don't know why I want to say restless with the Fool, but the Fool again is being in that place to where you are feeling perhaps maybe a little foolish for taking some kind of risk, or the thought of taking some kind of risk. You may feel somewhat naive here as well. You're very cautious now about, you know, where you are. Something to do here with, if you have other people around you that may be asking about this relationship or this connection, you're kind of avoiding the truth. This feels like if something has happened here, it's like you're not really putting it out there. If people ask, you're kind of not taking that on. You're kind of just putting an excuse out there, or something else is going on, or whatever the case. It's almost like you don't necessarily want to talk about this. It's like you don't really want to put it out there into the public. You kind of keep everything to yourself. It's like you may feel somewhat foolish, or you just may feel, you just feel a certain way. And so, that if you may tell this story, it can come across, or you tell others what happened, it can come across as somewhat, it doesn't make you look the best for taking maybe such a significant risk in whatever way that is. And so you kind of just want to keep things to yourself as much as you can. Yeah. I don't know why that's so important here, but it definitely is. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we are going to use I'm obsessed with this deck, guys. It's called the Tarot of the Mystical Peaks, and we're going to use it to get into your energy here. Your person's energy. Yeah, I just saw the Devil and the Four of Pentacles, so definitely that's someone that's really guarded. Like very protective of themselves. And you see that in this person. This person may have a really hard time letting their guard down. This could be why they are in this place of such high standards, because maybe they've been, extremely hurt in the past, or they're just in a place to where they just have a really hard time trusting, or they have, maybe a life that they're just trying to protect in some way. So it's like everyone is a predator until proven wrong kind of thing. I don't know why I want to say that. Okay. Tell me about this person for pile 2, the person that they're connecting with. How is this person thinking about pile 2 in this connection at this time? There's the Devil again. That's Capricorn energy. The Chariot. Definitely, I feel like that this is someone that feels like they're getting away. Like, this is someone that's saying, no, I feel like that this is something toxic or no longer good for me. So they're literally like jumping in their chariot and driving away from this. I know y'all can't see all these. Let me try to move these over just a hair. Okay. Is that better? Sometimes in these cards, some of the cards, you may get a hit off of them intuitively that I'm not seeing, but it's meant for you, Okay, so you have Capricorn and Cancer here now. How is this person currently feeling and thinking about how to the Eight of Cups? So this looks like somebody that's walked away. This looks like somebody that is definitely, there's also like this progression that we see here. You have the 5, 15 is 6, you have 7 and 8. So this is someone that's kind of slowly like progressed into this energy here of detaching, emotionally detaching, walking away. The Chariot in the middle of this is really profound because it's a card of overcoming your fear and stepping into faith and kind of doing what you need to do for yourself. So this is someone here, and some of y'all may more resonate with this side, but this is definitely someone here that is stepping into their power here and driving themselves towards detaching from the situation. And it's all due to this Devil that's sitting here, that's in this toxic, Devil's is a toxic energy. They may feel like that this is something that maybe just was very materialistic, or they could see that this is something that is just really basically not good for them. I also feel like this person may have felt like that perhaps you were focused in on other things, or you were like, you see how the devil's like over here in his ear kind of yelling at him in a way, and then she's kind of down, like they're both looking at their phones, they're not talking or they're not attached to each other. The devil's that representation in a relationship where things can get in the way, temptations, other things that draw in your focus, that where it can become bad, it can become a habit, you know. So I feel like this person feels like that whatever was going on, it was something that became a toxic situation, and they gathered the courage here to move away from that. Okay. This could also be somebody that could be realizing that themselves were equal, being a participant here, or were equally responsible in some sort of way. I don't know, it feels like a feeling of when you don't know what to do, then you need to like look at what something is or where something's going, and then figure out what you need to do for yourself from there. Because the Chariot, even the Eight of Cups, they're both like very independent cards. And so it's like doing something for yourself despite the other person. It's like you can't change someone else's behavior. You can't change someone else's addictions. You know, these are all kinds of things that they have to, you can definitely possibly help. But when you try, if something's not working, it's basically you have to leave that person to their own mechanisms. You know, you have to leave that person to their own patterns. Again, it's the same thing. I just kind of feel like I keep repeating it. How are you seeing this person? Or how is this how is this person seeing you in this connection? Pile 2, how is this person seeing pile 2 in this connection? The Five of Pentacles. So they feel like there's a lack here. They're feeling a lack. Well, this makes perfect sense for your card to be hard to please and unrealistic high standards. This is like this has to, I feel like this connection here, what's going on here, it has to do with the balance of the connection, and one being very one-sided versus the other, you know, trying to balance the scales. But there's different, like I said here, perspectives and ideas of what that looks like. And I feel like the two of you just didn't have the same kind of idea of what that looked like. So how is this person seeing you in this connection? The Six of Pentacles. There's the balance. This is what I was talking about. So, you know, this card here, it does talk about balance, but the Six of Pentacles itself is actually a representation of someone giving to the other, someone being very generous here. You see it in the picture of this card. It's the different kind of pictation of it, but you have this gentleman here that you know, looks like he has everything together, and he's handing coins to the child, which obviously doesn't have as much as the man does. So it's almost like this person, how they're seeing you is that there was some kind of a lack of balance or give and take within the dynamics of the relationship. They may have even seen you as giving more to others than maybe you could give or was giving to the relationship, because it's next to that Five of Pentacles. So if this person's seeing you as not having what it is that they really need in order to, you know, feel like things are in balance, and that might be your reality, but there you may have practical reasons for that. But I don't think that it really necessarily matters as much. The reality here is that this person was feeling the Five of Pentacles. So this person was seeing you as not being able to really offer or give to them what they needed. And for some of you, maybe not, not seeing that, or not really even wanting to. How's this person seeing you? The Four of Wands. I think this person's kind of just made peace with this. I think they've kind of stepped into a place to where they've just made peace with the fact that, this wasn't giving to them what they needed in order to have that harmonious foundation that they were looking for. I think they've just kind of made peace with that. And that's how they're capable of walking away here. I think this person also sees you as someone that is fine with the way things have ended. I feel like this person, for you to have the Ten of Swords and them to have the Four of Wands, and we're talking about how you see one another. I feel like my dogs are fixing to bark. Yep. Yep. This is really, really, really showing that they see you as being at peace with how things are. They see you at being at peace with how things are, possibly that you were unable to give them what it is that they need, and you've just kind of made peace with that. Like, for instance, you could be seeing this person as they're asking too much of you. The way this person's seeing you is that you've made peace with the fact that you can't give them what they're looking for or what they need. Okay. So how are you showing up? Or, okay, I did it again, didn't I? How is this person showing up in this connection? How is this person showing up in this connection? I'm actually going to have to move these a little bit so I can fit them in. How is this person showing up in this connection? King of Cups in reverse. Oh, that's interesting. Scorpio energy. How is this person showing up in this connection? The Death. I mean, I don't think they are. They're not showing up in this connection. I feel like that this is someone that feels like that this is something that's over. Like, this is something that just has come to an end here. They could be even changing the way that they feel about the whole situation, as far as that King of Cups in reverse. It can be like someone also trying to manipulate themselves into I don't want to say that. I need another card to figure out how to actually word that. That's both Scorpio energy there. I do feel like this person feels like they're showing up in a way of this connection has changed this person. The way that they approach things, definitely emotionally. Tell me more about that King of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, the Ace of Wands in the reverse. I mean, I feel like this person's kind of come to terms with the fact that they're not emotionally invested. They don't really have the desire, or they don't really have the, I hate to say desire, but I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's like someone that doesn't really have this desire to put in something emotionally to have a change take place. because it's not working. You know, whatever it is here, it's just not working. What actions will this person take, if any, towards pile 2? The Seven of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like this person may start to give me one more for that. The Seven of Cups. I think something about this person, the fact that they've maybe lost this opportunity in some way or another, I feel like it's affecting this person emotionally to where it's changing them. The fact that this has been something that's not worked out, or they see this as just a lost opportunity here. Even if it hasn't yet, I feel like it's slowly kind of starting to change. This person showed up in this connection where they were not emotionally capable. They weren't in a place, they feel like they weren't in a place here to be emotionally ready or emotionally capable of making the changes that they needed to in this situation. And they may have just been very burnt out, and that's the reason why, with that Ace of Wands in the reverse. They lost the desire to want to, because the lack that they were feeling. You have that for this person's actions, the Seven of Cups. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. The Tower. I mean, Scorpio energies there. I feel like this is someone that's kind of slowly but surely going into, how to explain that? There's a mystery there. Okay, so this is someone that's kind of, they could be looking at their other options, but they're just kind of going into this place of mystery. But what's happening here is, I think because they're going into that place, it's causing them to have an awakening or aha moment of the opportunity that they actually lost here. With that Wheel of Fortune being there in reverse. Yeah, the Page of Wands. You may get some kind of message from this person for some of you. What do they feel like the devil was here, actually? What is the devil to them? The Eight of Swords in the reverse. This is somebody here. I'm starting to figure this person out. I feel like this is somebody that just doesn't want to deal with anything. So with that Eight of Swords to be the devil here, it's almost like this person may just see if anything kind of puts them in their head, or they have to think about anything, or if they get anxious about anything when it comes to the relationship. So if they start to feel pressure of any of these feelings, then they see it as toxic, which is somewhat unrealistic, because it's, I mean, there is a healthy way of looking at that. But if you go from this straight to the Chariot, unless there's just this history, repetitive history here between the two of you, that's understandable. But it's just one extreme to the next, really. How does this person really feel about you? How do they really feel about you? The Two of Swords in the reverse. And the Empress in reverse. I think that this person feels like they regret some decisions that they made. This person feels as if you weren't capable of growing with this person. They're not capable of growing here. I really feel like, yeah, that High Priestess is at the bottom. You're both kind of, to be honest, in a place of figuring things out. You have the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Wands both in reverse here for this person's energy. This to me is like giving up on something and coming to a halt. Like there may have been some frustration here with communication, and then just this giving up energy. This person feels like intuitively they felt like maybe because of the slowdown of communication or something like that, that they were kind of, you were slowly releasing this person, or that they were slowly releasing you. Let's get the connecting energy. Well, let's see what this person would say. I just saw regret. And strictly sexual. This person may have made you feel at some point that this was something that was that way, or this may have been a part of the connection at some point that this person regrets, because it may have definitely tainted the connection itself. How's this person feeling about pile 2? Fell out kind of funny. I lost myself for a little while. Pisces energy's there at the bottom. Capricorn, Scorpio, Taurus, Libra. Lots of Scorpios over here with the Tower of the Death and the King of Cups. How is this person, what would this person say to pile 2 if they could say anything? I see laugh differently now. If they haven't yet, I feel like they will. I feel like this connection's definitely influenced this person emotionally. I don't know. I feel like this person just doesn't want to feel these emotions. But I feel like that's gonna change. Warning, don't dismiss the red flags. What would this person say to pile 2 if they could say anything? Also, yeah, y'all may be mirroring each other somewhat. We have chemistry here, so this says the attraction you feel is mutual. This is someone that is attracted to you, but for whatever reason, I feel like they couldn't express that or show that in some way. They had maybe a hard time, or maybe it was awkward for them. You have a feel you leaving me behind and second chance. So that Wheel of Fortune can represent that second chance being there. So for some of you, that might be the case. Bottom of the deck, interference. So there may have been some outside interference here, something, whatever it was, something toxic from the outside that really had a profound effect here within the dynamics of your relationship. So let's see what the connecting energies are, and then we'll move on to advice before we close, because y'all's reading's already a little longer than what it's supposed to be. This energy, I feel you leaving me behind, was already what I was talking about earlier. The bottom of the deck there. Slowly kind of disconnecting, you know, giving up, slowly giving up. What is the future of this relationship here for pile 2? Surrender. It's funny, I just talked about giving up. This card literally says giving up. Letting go, releasing, and patience. What is the future of this relationship for pile 2? We have healing here. So letting go and healing is what we see here. And justice is at the bottom. So, okay, so I feel like the future here of this is releasing this. I'm letting go and going through the process of healing. I do feel like this person feels as if maybe this relationship eventually deserves another chance, depending on the longevity of this relationship and the um, substance of this relationship, what it means to you guys. It's possible that maybe the both of you feel like something here is worth at least healing. And with this surrender here, I just feel like that the two of you kind of have to release this and go your separate ways, or I think you do definitely come to both some sort of awakening or some sort of conclusion, where some lessons are learned here in a way, where there's some healing that can take place. Judgment is here at the bottom with family. So family could be important here when it comes to making a judgment call. This could be like letting things go and healing for family. So that could be a part of it here as well. You do have that Ten of Pentacles there, so that is the card of family. What advice do you have for pile 2? You have abundance, a flow of money, love, and rewards, and self-limiting beliefs. Negative thoughts are creating a roadblock in your life. So you may be walking into realignments here. So this may have threw you out of alignment, this connection with this person, and you're going to be walking back into shifting your perspective for a gained sense of clarity. So when you come back into alignment, I feel like abundance is headed your way, whether that comes in the way of money, love, reward, maybe all of them. But you have to first release yourself of this negative roadblock that's in your life. So, this relationship, it's basically saying heal through this understanding and this lesson here that you've learned through this experience. Don't let this experience kind of basically screw things up for you in the future when you do have this abundance that flows to you, because it can be a blockage if you let it. Okay, what overall advice do you... Oh, that came right out. There we go. Open your heart. That's basically what I was getting at. Number 22. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal the situation. So there's definitely an energy overall of forgiveness here. And I'm not saying you have to forgive this person. I'm not saying that you ever will. For some of you, that's the case, especially if there's some family situation going on here. It may be necessary, but for a lot of you, this could just be about healing yourself, because it does say heal yourself here and stop judging yourself. So if you felt naive in this situation, it's telling you to stop judging yourself. You took a risk, you had love for this person, you wanted to show them or share that, and it didn't work out. And that's just, logically the way that things happen sometimes. But don't judge yourself for putting out that effort, because that's who you are. And that's not a bad thing. We learn, we live, we move on. I love you is here, so this may be part of the message. You have the game over here, so game playing may have been a part of this, and whether you were playing games or not, maybe this person thought you were, because you were trying to express your emotions in a certain way or trying to get them to understand something, or vice versa, you felt like this person was playing games with you. But I feel like that is over and done with. You have the new moon here, so a new beginning for yourself. I always think of it as a new moon anyway. You have the photograph here, so memories, maybe a photo may pop up or something, or they send you a picture or something pops up. You have the bow tie here, so it could be that there's something to do with dressing up or straightening up, like how you present yourself or something like that, like the way that you want to present yourself in this situation. I don't know what that means to you guys, but it says I'm not a morning person, so that might be how you know who this is. If you didn't, which I don't know how you wouldn't, but ZINXJ, M or W, S Well, actually, we have both. We have a O, a T. We have 3 M's or 3 W's and an F. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to leave you right here. And thank y'all so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I tried to make this one fast, but it feels like there's a lot of complex emotions here. So I did my best. But thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. And I hope to see you soon. Hey, Paul 3. So I'm kind of excited about your all's pile. I hope. Hopefully this is going to be a good reading, because it does say soulmate, soul contracts, and attracting your tribe. So for some of you, this may be like a connection here. This person that you're wondering about could be someone that you're attracting into your tribe, a soul family. This could also be someone that's a part of your soul family already, or someone you still have a soul contract with. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be quicker about this reading, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. last pile was kind of long. It was 40 minutes, which I try, guys. I really do try. Someone told me one day to cut out the fluff, which I was, to be honest with you, I feel like all the details of certain situations are important. But I know I do repeat myself a lot. So I'm trying to do a short reading and then a longer reading so that y'all have some to choose from. But it's a work in progress. I have to train myself to do that. Everything that comes through, I want to make sure I bring to y'all, and it's just not possible in a small time frame. So, okay, here we go. So we're going to look into your energy first. Make sure that you keep in mind, you could be on my left, you could be on my right. Okay, so take it how it resonates, but I will address this first part of the reading on my left here to you guys as pile 3. Okay, so this is the Tarot of Mystical Peaks. Okay, pile 3. So how are you currently thinking and feeling about this person, pile 3? The person on your mind. How are you currently thinking and feeling about this person? The Devil. Okay. Capricorn energy. The Lovers. My gosh. Okay, so there may be some kind of a significant desire that you have with this person. So as far as how you're thinking and feeling about this person, I think that you have a heavy, intensive desire here. 6 may be an important number. 6 is also a soulmate number, an equal give and take, a healing number. The 6th house is about work, so it's like balancing and working things out. You do feel like this possibly is an intense connection with the Devil, or there may be some obsessiveness here even. I feel like this could be a very lustful connection. You have Gemini and Capricorn energies there. Okay, so let's see. How are you thinking and feeling about this person? This is when you see somebody as a soulmate. Yeah, I mean, that's your card, right? Death. My gosh, the majors. Scorpio energy here. You know what I really feel like? I feel like that you think, or you feel like this is a connection or a possible connection to where it may be very healing for you. It may be very life-changing or transforming, with the Death being here. How do you see this person? How do you see this person? How do you see this person? I actually saw 1212 on the timer there. How do you see this person? Pile 3, how do you see this person? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. How do you see this person? The King of Pentacles in the reverse. How do you see this person? And the 5 of Cups. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, there's 2 storylines I'm feeling here. If this is you're attracting someone new, there may be someone else in your energy, or it's just simply like you see this as an opportunity to have something solid, but you're also like, how do I want to say this? You see this as someone that could lead to a possible heartbreak. And I feel like you don't know a lot about this person yet, if this is someone new, because I feel like you're already in your head about it. Like if this is the right opportunity for you or not. You don't know. There's a lot of the not knowing. And I don't know if you're like going through something, some sort of loss, or you're just kind of sad to begin with. Or you're just telling yourself, if this doesn't work out, it's going to make you really sad. You may be seeing this person as possibly not wanting an opportunity even for something solid. They could be someone here with this King of Pentacles in reverse that may be coming across as somewhat selfish, or they're not like looking for that long-term commitment, or they're just, maybe this is where you're trying to put your mindset at. They may be kind of still experiencing something or going through something. So let's see how you're showing up in this connection. How are you showing up in this connection? How are you showing up in this connection, Pile 3? We have the 8 of Cups and the Chariot. This is how you're showing up in this connection. Okay. I feel like for some of you, if you have an established like relationship here, you may very much so see this person as being like that person that aligns with you. You still feel that connection, but you also feel like this person has some, like there's something, this feels like a toxic bond or a toxic connection that may have ended. And I think that you're seeing how you're showing up here with the 8 of Cups and the Chariot is basically you walking away and moving into a different direction. Where are you going? Oh, let me see that, where you're going. Why is the Chariot here? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I could feel this energy. This came through in a reading I haven't posted yet, that I did about who's coming towards you. I feel like that for you guys, you are in the midst of going towards something new, and you're still kind of in the process of leaving something else behind. So I'm tapping into your energy at a point to where you are like the effects of this past relationship or connection may be somewhat affecting you in the present and how you're seeing the potential of someone else, because you are still experiencing this loss with this 5 of Cups. So it's like you don't have any kind of expectations here if you are like moving in a different direction. Which I see, this is how you're showing up here. So this is about walking away, moving in a different direction, and this is the Knight of Cups here. So you're maybe moving towards someone new, or moving towards someone that may have some sort of romantic interest in you, or you them. But there's this other connection that's here that is a loss that you're still going through, and it may be that you had like a longer connection with this person, seeing them as this Pentacle energy, but it was just an opportunity that didn't play out. You may felt like this person was, somewhat selfish, or they weren't looking for something long term. There's an idea of sadness, regret, or mistakes that were made, or it's just like disappointment. Really, it's just like a disappointment here. Of how you're seeing this person. That's just a big disappointment. That's it. And it's leading you into a place where if you are moving towards something new, or you have a new interest here, that you already have this mindset in your head about, is this someone that's like part of, meant to be of my soul family, or is this just another circumstance where there's going to be this like lost potential or lost opportunity where this person's not looking for something the way that I'm looking for something, you know? It's very interesting. I'm actually going to keep this out. I'm just going to put it over here. Okay. The bottom of the deck, yeah, the 10 of Wands. You still have a lot you're carrying. You still have a lot here that you're carrying, that you're holding on to. And the 10 of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. And the King of Wands. There's someone here that may have been very confusing. We give a King of Wands to a King of Pentacles. That's two very opposite energies. Leo energy, Pisces is there. It's basically like somebody that in the beginning, they may be like full throttle. And then they go from that to the Knight of Pentacles, where like he's in a car, in a very nice car there. And then you go from that to a horse that has the wheels messed up on the wagon, you know, or on the plow. But it's two very different energies. And then the High Priestess is with that 10 of Swords is like, you know, what the hell? What exactly happened here? And it's like you're trying to figure out why this came to the conclusion that it did. And this is kind of a burden on you here. Something that came across as being so prominent, and then all of a sudden came to a halt here. Look at that, King and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. It's like you may have felt like someone was very interested in you and very giving to you and just full throttle, and then all of a sudden they just stopped. And it's confusing, and there may be a lot of things here that hurt when it comes to thinking about this and reasons why this person was in that place and did what they did. But you're also in a place to where maybe you're taking some of the responsibility for, you know, allowing yourself to put yourself in a position like that, because I think that you already, like, you were aware of this. Obviously, if somebody's coming at you with the King of Wands energy, and then they go from that to a Knight of Pentacles, that is a huge difference in someone. So, I mean, I don't feel like that you're at all crazy for thinking, trying to figure out what exactly happened with that. And it, you know, that is painful. That is a hard thing. And I feel like you take kind of responsibility for at least yourself in acknowledging the fact that this person maybe they weren't who you thought they were, or they didn't follow through with who they said they were. And you know, it's a feeling of being in a situation like this, the devil and it's very confusing and it's very difficult. And it may be a relationship that really just kind of pulled you apart and threw you back together, with the devil and the lovers there, because it's something that you feel both the light and the shadow sides to. And it can become very toxic at times, but then can also be very healing at times. And that in itself is confusing. I do feel like something came to an end here, and it's like you're taking responsibility for the fact that you may have maintained or stayed in a situation that you obviously knew there was a significant difference about. Like, it's not that you couldn't see the toxicity that was there, the changes that were there, or this person maybe not being exactly what they were presenting themselves to be or what they were capable of. But so it's like you just knew, you know, with the High Priestess there, it's like you had this inner knowing that this was not what you thought it was going to be, or you couldn't believe what they were saying, but you kind of stuck it out anyways. And it's like you're taking responsibility for that aspect, or forgiving yourself for that aspect, so that you can you know, push through and move forward. Okay. Now, I don't know who's going to come out. Well, there's that Knight of, there's that Knight of Cups. Do you see? Right there. There you go. And that strength there. So, I was going to say, I don't know who's going to come out on this side. This could be a relationship you've already left behind, and now you're going into this possible new love interest here. So, let's just take a look and see. Who's in your energy here? Who are you wanting to know about? Tell me about this other person that's here for pile 3. We want to know what this other person's energy is towards pile 3. For pile 3, this other person that's here, the one that they need to know about. I just heard in my head, this person won't leave you guessing. I have to move this over. Tell me about this person. This person here for pile 3. What are they thinking and feeling about pile 3 at this time? What is this person thinking and feeling about pile 3 at this time? The Star in reverse. The World in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, I'm picking up on, I feel like I'm picking up on y'all's past person. We'll see what else comes through, but there's unfinished business here with someone, or at least they feel that way. I feel like this is someone that's showing up here that you need to know about, someone that you still have a soul contract with. There's unfinished business here with this person. I do feel like you may get some sort of message from this person with this Page of Wands in the reverse. This person being curious about if this can be healed or not. I want to get into this other person's energy too for y'all. So let's try to see if we can run through this real quick. Tell me about how pile 3, how's this person that's on the table here in this Page of Wands energy, how are they seeing pile 3 at this time? The 4 of Swords, the 2 of Wands. This person feels like that you're reevaluating, or you're just resting or thinking about things. They feel like that you're in a state of contemplation, you know, about what has happened. I do feel like this person's more so in a hopeless energy. They're seeing you as someone that's possibly taking a different direction here with this 2 of Wands, moving in a different direction, making a choice to move in a different direction. Look at that, the Knight of Cups. Either this person may be aware that you're moving in another direction, or they intuitively, listen, if they're part of your soul family, they still have a soul contract here with you, and you're this Capricorn, this Devil and this Lovers together with the Death. This may be a situation to where you and this person really clear out a lot of karma together, but it's very, painful. Like I said, the shadow and the light aspect between the 2 of you is both like very strong. So you may find yourselves in repeating a lot of cycles with this person. But if they're intuitively still connected to you, which I believe that they are. So if this is someone that you don't want to have anything to do with, you really want to break that connection, I would say, cord cutting meditation would be something that you want to look into, at least to get your mindset right, if anything else. Because I feel like this person feels like that you're moving in another direction. I feel like that they feel as if you're in this place of rest, and you're making a decision to, move in a different direction. So intuitively, I feel like they're picking up on that. even if you aren't, which I feel like you are too, but even if you aren't, this is someone that feels that way. This is how they're seeing you. How is this person showing up in this connection at this time? Pile 3's person, this person here, how are they showing up in this connection? The Page of Swords. And the Strength. Leo energy. They may be spying on you. This person may be doing a lot of heavy spying on you, trying to be patient, but I do feel like that they have something they want to say. I always hear this in my head, this one scene from Bewitched. I haven't watched that in a while. I should watch it. The Nicole Kidman version. And I can't think of his name right now, but Holly, it's right there. It just won't come out. But anyways, he plays Darren, and they're in the room, and he's just like this guy that just like, he's just very charismatic, and it's all about him, and like he's just kind of a jerk, and she calls him out, and she's like, hey, I've got something to say, and he's not listening. Nobody's listening. And then she finally just screams it like, hey, I've got something to say. That just played in my head when I was talking about this person's energy. So there's this feeling of how they're showing up in this connection. Like they have some kind of truth that they want to say, but they're trying to be patient about it. The 3 of Pentacles. There's something here they want you to like work. They want to work out something here with you. What is it? How they're showing up. Oh, the 9 of Wands. Something's been very difficult for this person, and they're wanting you to cooperate. They want you to see that. I think they're trying to be patient because I honestly feel like this person's trying to give you some time to evaluate. Yeah, the Hanged Man in reverse. They feel like that you have maybe perhaps the wrong perspective of them. And they're in this position here where that's very difficult, and they may like feel this need to defend or protect themselves. That's interesting. Death is at the bottom. Scorpio energy. And the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. I think that I don't really understand, other than the fact that this person wants to change your perspective, what they're really wanting to gain from this, other than that, and just to like clear the air, I guess. With that 9 of Wands, I think that they feel like maybe a commitment here, or working together with you, or just the weight of this, like there was just too much responsibility in some way. Because the 2 of Pentacles can be like you can't take anything else on with that King of Wands, but it can also be like understanding why something came to an end. I don't know, I feel like this person's trying to or wants to compromise here with you, but what actions will they take towards you? The Ace of Cups in reverse. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Be careful of this. This does, yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. Capricorn energy. This to me is like this person not wanting a relationship. They just want something, to have something tangible here with you. With this Knight of Wands that's coming out with it, this is why I'm saying being careful, because this person may be coming in just so they can leave that door opened for other things. So I would just say be careful about that. This Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is somebody that's basically saying, I can't bring this relationship here to you, but I can't offer you this. I can offer you something, so take it or leave it. I would say, it's one of those things. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it just depends on where you are. And if this is definitely something that's so difficult for you, then I don't know why you would want to take that on. But I mean, that doesn't mean this person won't come in and try that. you know. How am I going to look to see if there's somebody else? Let's see if there's somebody else here for you. Because I do, yeah. Unfoldment and Lady Venus, I just saw. Which is something that's slowly transpiring. If there's someone new here for pile 3, yeah. We have the mystical shaman, born healer. I feel like there may be somebody that's coming in that it may be very healing for you. Tell me more about that. You have Miss Winter at the bottom. So it may be something that, hold on, let me put this together. Okay, so again, this is the same energy. So I'm glad I'm looking into this, because you have Beauty and the Beast and Rocking Horse. So you do have unfinished business with this person here. And yeah, they are still connected to you. They're still a part of your soul contract. You still have a open soul contract with this person. I feel like they're trying to give you some time to rest. They know that you may be moving in another direction, but they're trying to give this some time before they try to come towards you and work anything out here again. It's basically they're bringing you what they can offer you, and it is an emotional connection. So this new person here, if for those of you that have this here, some of you may not, this may be something that's very healing, but at first you may, because of this person, be very indecisive around this relationship with this stuck energy here. You may actually get some sort of divine assistance here. You may feel like that this is a proper offer that you're getting here from this person, this new person, kind of sent from the divine in a way. But what's causing a delay or setback for you is this unfinished business that's over here. So this will be someone that is healing, for you, but you may find that if you're stuck in a place to where you feel like your love life is cursed, then you may be very indecisive about whether you're healed enough to be in something, in a relationship here with this person. So it may not be a relationship that initially is very consistent. It may be kind of on and off, because you are still healing. You are still feeling like the weight of whatever's happened here for you. So yeah, that's something that's there. But again, and it may be healing. The process of that may be healing. This may be someone that, brings you this feeling of feeling renewed about yourself. But I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like a very slow, like a really slow progression into something else, because you are still healing. And this other person may be in that same type of energy. Look, soulmate and healing. This other person that's here may be in that same type of energy, where they're also experiencing something similar. So, okay. Definitely some sort of friendship that's coming into play here, soul family that's coming into play, where you both may be very hesitant, but it is still a potential love interest that's there. Okay, here we go. Now, I would never tell anybody to get into a relationship right when they got out of something toxic, because that's going to kind of carry with you unless you do the proper healing work. But I do feel like that doesn't mean that we should put our lives on hold either. So you may have someone that pops up. We saw that divine help there, divine assistance. So you may have somebody that pops up, and that could be that relationship that is very healing. Where you have someone that understands what you're going through, that understands you, and that helps you to have hope again for relationship or love or humanity, Okay. Here we go. So future energies here for pile 3. Future energies for pile 3. Can you tell me about that? Future energies here for, what is the future of this connection here for pile 3? Anxiety. What is the future connection here for pile 3? Social media and divine intervention. Oh boy, something's okay. So here's the thing. If you're getting into something else with someone else, this person may be spying on you. We see that here. They may see that you are, I can see that here now too. They may see that you are dating. This may cause some stress here when it comes to this situation or with this person. And again, here's that divine intervention, you know. See what this person would say to you. This is karma. I feel like in a way, you know, I said that this relationship is something that you may keep repeating patterns. It could be very karmic. So whatever this person, I mean, it didn't really tell me what this person actually did, but on your side, you very much so see it. They're not really focused on that as much as they are. I don't know that this person here has a lot of emotional depth when it comes to understanding the significance of relationships and what they've learned, because I don't see a lot of that here. I see more of them just like, oh, just give pile 3 some time and I'll come back in later and it will be fine. It's very, I guess maybe they're trying to not see it as a big deal, and maybe it won't be, but I feel like on your side, it's very much so a big deal. You have 2 10s, you got the devil, lovers, death. I mean, you have some serious major. You have the 5 of cups. Like you're working through this. And I think this karma that's going to happen here is, I feel like you're going to come into union here with someone. And this may lead to this person's awakening. Yeah. I feel like this may be something that they catch on to or that they see. They're doing some spying here. Okay. What would this person say to pile 3 if they could say anything? There it is. I want to make amends. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. No, you don't, because this person doesn't tell you. You know? No, I don't, because you don't tell me. You don't talk to me. Okay, 2 cards back to back. I'm not available. See, I don't think that they are. I don't think this person's, maybe, you know, maybe they, that's one thing that maybe they're realizing that they weren't. I pretend that you don't mean that much, but that's a shadow card. So this is this person's issue if they're not expressing how they feel. You know, what are you supposed to do if someone's not expressing to you how they feel? What else would this person say? Okay, these cards. I guess I'll take this because it just won't go back in there. Leaving you hurt me too. I wish I'd treated you better. Children could be important in this relationship. And chemistry. Okay, so let's get some advice so we can close. Trying to go. Okay. What advice do you have for pile 3 about this? Renew the heart, number 10. Let yourself receive is at the bottom, and I think this is really important when it comes to a new connection that's here. Because it says, number 43, when you step into the space of receiving, it allows you to be open to unexpected sources that add joy to your life. And I think that's exactly what you're going to see here in the near future. And to be honest with you, that may actually lead to not only something that's very healing in the appropriate time that you need, but also eventually could lead to a very meaningful relationship and connection. So, but you have to be able to receive or be open to that. And then you have number 10 when it comes to this. It says, renewal of the heart. A relationship in your life needs renewal and attention. Reconnect with the one that you love and recall what first brought you together. So there is this, and to each their own. It's you guys and what this maybe is just for you, to say, yeah, it didn't work out, but I think I'm going to go in a different direction, or whatever the case is here for you. Some of y'all might take this person up on their opportunity. Maybe you're not ready for something new. And that's fine too. Maybe some of you don't have another interest, and that's fine too. It's you guys have free will. There's a reason you have free will, because you need to learn through the experiences that you have. And I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I do feel like that this is about mending your broken heart. This is also the number 10, which is a number of completion. Okay. Overall message for pile 3. Well, can't wait to see what that says. It came out weird. Number 42, prayers. Your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms that you didn't expect. So, there's that. Okay, so let's see what initials and charms y'all have. Uh-oh. So y'all do have the sail ship, which is about getting to calmer waters, but you notice like this, they're separate directions here, which I always thought was kind of strange, but they're going in separate directions. So it could be that you find that closure that you're looking for in the future. Not that you need it, but it may be coming to you. So you have the mermaid's tail, and this is what I was talking about here in this whole thing. This is about being in between worlds. So it's like you're 1 foot out, 1 foot in, like that's what we see here in this whole thing. There's mess in the bowl, M-E-S-S. It's like, that's what I feel here, like someone making a mess of things, You have an H and a Z and a U as well. So you do have us in there. And used. Maybe somebody felt used. Okay. And then you have this one here, which says, love is never wasted, which I feel like is really important here. Understanding that it's a hard thing to understand, especially when you feel like you've been done wrong in any way, or there's been a betrayal, you're heartbroken. But love is never wasted. You always learn from love, and it's an action. So it's something that you felt and something that you needed at some point in this relationship. It's something that, just like this here, and like I said earlier, there may have been some toxicities here, but this is also someone that some days, some weeks, some months, some years, there were good times, there were some happy moments, and those moments did, help mend your heart, even if it did break in the end. It's about remembering how those days did bring you good days. And those were good days in your life at some point, regardless of how things did end. Okay, so love is never wasted. And your love was never wasted on this either. Whether you felt like you gave it your all and it didn't pan out, it's just love is never wasted. It's always worth something. Okay, I'm going to leave here. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support. And y'all's was almost exactly 40 minutes, too. So dang it. So I got to work on that. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Okay, pile 4. So if you chose Collector of Hearts, it says Heartbreaker, many love interest, and not ready to settle down. So the song started playing in my head whenever I saw this card as soon as I put it over here on my table for you guys. And it's the Heartbreaker song, which if you don't know which one I'm talking about, it's an old, very old song. I think it's like the 1980s maybe. But it's where she says, you know, you're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. You know what I'm talking about? That song. It's just started playing and playing in my head, and I was like, oh, gotta look that up. So now I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. That's what's gonna happen all day long. Okay, so we have the Vagabond Wild Tarot that we're going to use for you guys. And so what we're going to do here is you're going to be on this side of me. I'm going to refer to you on this side, on the left side. And this is supposed to be your person's, but the roles could always be switched. So just take it how it resonates. This card here is going to tell us about what the connection is itself at this moment in time. So with Collector of Hearts and that song, obviously, I feel like there's maybe like an idea of someone being a heartbreaker here, a collector of hearts, or maybe they have many love interests, someone that's just not ready to settle down. So we're going to tap into your energy first and see how you're currently thinking and feeling about this person. How are you currently thinking and feeling about this person here? Pile 4. We have the Fool. Okay. Aries energy. How are you currently thinking and feeling about this person? Pile 4. You have the Moon in reverse. Cancer and Pisces. Pisces, Cancer. Heart. Well, these cards are just coming right on out. You thought about this a lot, huh? 6 of Wands. Okay. How are you thinking and feeling about this person? So you may feel, first off and foremost, I think there's been a lot to you that's been revealed about this person. And well, I mean, obviously we see that here with Heartbreaker, the song, everything. But this Fool energy, it's funny in this Fool because she's not taking a leap. She's actually looking behind her. And she's looking back. So you may be in this position to where you're looking back here about this person, and there has been so much that has been revealed to you that you may be feeling kind of foolish. But you feel like, some of you may feel like that you've kind of dodged a bullet here with the 6 of Wands being here, like you've overcome the situation and you can identify and see this person for who they are. Heartbreaker, dream maker, a love taker. So it fits with the song. You know, you may be in that place to where you're realizing that about this person, and you may be kind of understanding that maybe you got out of this situation before, you know, maybe they ended up breaking your heart, or maybe they did, but you got out of it maybe before it got worse. It's like this Moon in reverse, I think, revealed a lot to you. And you're no longer in a place to where you're wanting to take a risk, or it's like boy saying, I almost took a significant risk there. I could have risked just so much there. I'm so glad I got away from this. I feel like you feel victorious over the circumstances here, okay? This just flew out of the deck. It's the 9 of Wands in reverse. I'm not going to take it, but that to me is showing me that this may have been something that was very difficult, but you decided to release or give up on this because of that. Like, you can't do it anymore. You know, it's that 9 of Wands is like, okay, I am the wounded warrior here. I'm the last one standing, and this is really testing me. I can't do this anymore. I have to do what I need to do and put my wand down. There's no fight left in me, you know? Okay, so how are you seeing this person? How are you seeing this person? Okay. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. How are you seeing this person? The 3 of Pentacles. How are you seeing this person? That's kind of interesting. The Seven of Cups. You feel like this person has a lot of interest. You feel like this person, you are just one of many. Maybe relationships that this person was working on. With this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you see this person as someone, okay, well, they lost an opportunity with you, but they have 3 more opportunities that they can move towards. Which one do they want to try? Because these are 3 different people here, 3 different hands. And the Seven of Cups is that dreamy energy. So you may feel like how you're seeing this person is that you are just one of many of their interest, and that they have other interests that they're looking into, and you know that they're building this dream with, or this fantasy around. That's very interesting. How are you showing up in this relationship or this connection? How are you showing up in this relationship? How are you showing up in this relationship or this connection? So you have the Lovers and the Eight of Wands. I think that y'all are moving on. I feel like you're kind of seeing this for what it is or what it was, and I feel like you're kind of, yeah, I feel like you're just kind of moving on. This is how you're showing up in this relationship. I mean, let's see if I can clarify that real quick. Gemini energies there. What is the Lovers for how you are showing up in this connection, pile 4? The Lovers. Yeah, the Nine of Swords in reverse. How are you showing up in this connection here for pile 4? The Eight of Wands. The Star in reverse. Yeah, you don't feel... I think you're moving forward. Yeah, the Three of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. So you're putting some distance here. You are, though... I'm just going to be honest, with the Lovers being here, you do still see this person as someone that you felt like you did align with, or you felt like you do love, or you do see as a soulmate in some way. But with that Nine of Swords in reverse, it's too overwhelming to be with this person, because you feel like they do have many love interests, or they are someone that doesn't want to settle down. There's someone that maybe they could be a heartbreaker, you know. And even though you may still feel this particular way with this person, this is something that you're not gonna, you can't do that. That's not what you want, you know. And so you're choosing to move on, because you don't feel like there's a future here. You feel like there's no hope here in this connection or in this relationship. And you're putting your distance here. Yeah, you don't feel inspired with this person. It's not drawing in your interest with this person being someone that just wants to have everyone else, you know, or they're interested in other things, or they just, you know, you're not available here to them, so they just like see what else is out there. You don't want to have somebody where you're always constantly being like, well, I guess they just move right on from me. Like they already have all these other people that they're interested in. You may feel like this person is also someone that like wants to explore other desires or options or whatever that means to you. And it's just, it causes you, yeah, you don't, again, King of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse. It doesn't drive you. It doesn't make you feel good or passionate about this person. You don't have a desire here because of that, you know, because this person is someone that's interested in a lot of other people or things, and it's like that doesn't interest me. You want a close connection. You want someone that you can see a future with, someone where it's a healing connection. You bond with that person. You share a sense of morals and values and ideas of what a relationship is and what it looks like, and you feel like that this person and the way that they see relationships is nothing compared to what you're looking for, bottom line. With that Moon in reverse, there may have been a lot revealed to you. I want to see if it'll tell me what that is really. What is the Moon in reverse? What is this? The Queen of Cups. One more for that Cancer energy. Death in reverse. Whatever it was that was revealed to you, even, you may still have love for this person, but the way that you feel about them now maybe is something that, like, now you can't change the way that you feel about them because of what you've seen. Whatever that is. So, okay. So I landed on the King of Cups. So now you have the Queen and the King of Cups and the Lovers. I mean, you do feel that this is difficult and it's frustrating too as a reader. We'll have to just look into their energy, but I think really this is more of a representation of you maintaining a sense of emotional stability. Like, you're not allowing this to kind of get the better of you here. This person going in a different direction or choosing other things, or how they react to this, or what their behavior is, or what their interests are. You're trying to not allow it to get to you. I think you do still have love for this person. I think you are still attracted to this person, but the way that you feel about what you've seen, you can't unsee, and that's not going to change. Does that make sense? Okay. I just saw 2 4s. This person may be in a place to where they're just trying to protect themselves. Like, they're focused on just protecting themselves. They may be getting involved into another relationship, which I feel like would be no surprise to you because you already know that about this person. Like, if something doesn't work out here, they just kind of go on to looking into other interests. It's almost like this person, according to you, has to keep themselves involved into something, which can come across as being very egotistic, like they have to have that attention. They don't like to sit in their emotions for too long, or they get bored very easily. I think that's really what you've identified, is that this person, they just may get bored very easily, so they just kind of go on to other interests. Well, that's going to in turn end up hurting you, of course, and I mean, that's just an awful feeling. If you're looking for that person in that relationship and you have that love there and you're giving to that person in that way, and they have you, but that yet, when they get bored, they look outside of you, I mean, who wants that really? What about this person? How is this person's thoughts and feelings towards pile 4? Queen of Wands. So you're both still coming across as being attracted to each other. How is this person's energy? 3 of Cups in reverse. So they definitely feel this disconnect from you. But again, 3's a crowd, How's this person's energy towards Paul? They feel like this isn't over. I mean, really? Like, this is somebody that's just like saying, there's no way this person is done with me. I mean, the attraction's still there. They feel like that you are very much so embedded in their soul, basically. Like, you're very much so still attracted to them. There's no way that anybody else is going to live up to the way that how much you're attracted to them. I feel like this person's got a big old ego. With the World being here in reverse, they feel like that this is just not over. This is the way this it's very arrogant. It's coming across as very arrogant. Sagittarius energy's there. How are they seeing you? But they may just feel like you're just, you are detached at this time. You have the 9 of Pentacles. You definitely are someone that has everything that this person wants, but they just don't want to settle down. So, how is this person seeing you? How are they actually seeing you here? The moon in reverse. So this person feels like things have been also revealed to them, but they may also feel like you're just clearly unhappy with the situation. Maybe even somewhat confused. This is their perspective, so keep that in mind. Or I guess it could be yours depending on which side you're on, but I feel like if that's the case, this is probably really triggering. So you have the Two of Swords here in reverse. This person feels like that you are confused. There's something here, this person, why do they feel like you're confused? What the hell could you be confused about? The Chariot in reverse. What is up with this person? I don't understand why. You have Cancer energy here and Pisces. This is the way they're seeing you. This is someone that feels like, and this may be triggering for you guys, but I'm just reading their energy. This is someone that feels like you may, like, you just don't know what you want, or you may be very, like, you're kind of more codependent than they are. I mean, I feel like this feels like somebody that just doesn't understand the value of a relationship, or maybe they've been in toxic relationships, or they were in short-term relationships, or connections that just don't have a lot of meaning or substance to them. So they don't see that as understanding what that really is and how beneficial that could be to you in your life. And they may not have a lot of a life experience or something, but so the way they're seeing you as, oh, if you want certain things from them, then you are codependent. That's not it. You know, it's that you just want a meaningful, loving relationship, and they're wanting to just explore, or they want their independence. It's almost like frustrating to me. I totally understand this energy. This person also feels like that if you've definitely cut this person out with this Two of Swords in reverse, they feel like you cut them out for reasons that where you're confused. Like, you didn't really have a good reason for cutting them off or cutting them out, or you may, like, whatever conclusions you came up with about them may not necessarily be the truth. I don't know why this person is feeling like you are just confused, but I don't like it because I feel like you're not confused at all. Not with the energy you're coming up with. You have the Moon in reverse just like they do, but theirs is next to the Two of Swords in reverse. Yours is next to the Six of Wands, which means you are in a more victorious and recognition and understanding now that you've seen certain things. They're seeing you as just being confused and blocking this out for no reason. Like, they just don't get it. It's almost like this person just doesn't have the depths, you know, of the realization that you do, or the self-awareness. Let's see, how is this person showing up in this relationship? They may even be kind of even upset with, to be honest with you, really the lack of control here. But I don't think that they have the awareness to see that in themselves. Because they, you know, one of the reasons that some individuals may just want this, but some, as far as healing goes, sometimes there are people that get into lots of love interest, lots of options, or jumping to other options because they themselves feel like that if they're only with one person, they can't necessarily control that person, And if they are seeing that person as someone that they are using, or in a particular way, if they have other options, well, that's a way of them to control their feelings and their emotions. So if I can't get this from you, I have backups to where I can get this from others. And it definitely falls in the category of attention. And this may be something that you've realized here about this person. Like, they don't necessarily care so much about how they're affecting you as much as they care about the attention that they need. Definitely not aware of that. How is this person showing up in this relationship with pile 4? How is this person showing up? The 6 of Swords and the 7 of Cups in the reverse. Well, this person's going to have a hard time, because I do feel like this person is eventually going to get to this point to where they regret the temptations here. Because I feel like as they transition or move away from this is a regretful energy. So they may already be feeling this way of, like, they don't want to have to move away from this, but they're kind of pushed into having to. And I feel like at some point this person may go towards all these, like, you saw this person in this way and they're actually showing up in this energy. But the difference here is that this, to me, is somebody that realizes that whatever else is out there is not what they want. This is somebody that they don't compare to you. But this feels like somebody that just wants what they can't have. Like, when they have you, they want other things. But when they have other things, they want you. It's like this person's just not really ever satisfied. Tell me more about that 7 of Cups in the reverse. The 4 of Wands. You gave this person a sense of security that they can't find anywhere else. That's the bottom line of this. Why that is, it's either your energy, how you know this person, how you've approached this person. The Force, see how the 4s are coming out again. 4 is a number of home. You feel like home to this person. And they, no matter how many love interests they have, or flings that they have, or other people that they have, they don't feel that way with anyone else. And so that's possibly why this person always ends up coming back around to you. They get tired of all these other energies. This right here. And yeah. Why is that 6 of Swords there? Yeah, 5 of Swords. You go from the 6 to the 5 to the 6, the 6 to the 5. So, I mean, this person's taking this as a loss, but I also feel like that they're regretful for creating this 5 of Swords, whatever that is to y'all. With this 3 of Cups, obviously, in the Collector of Hearts, I feel like it's that this person had other interest, and this is what they regret, or if not yet, I think they will. This is a card of betrayal, like winning at all cost. So this could be somebody that may have fought you on certain things. As far as how they see you, tell me about that 2 of Swords. Yeah, the 9 of Swords in reverse. You may have cut this person off or blocked this person, and this is something that they feel like there's nothing they can do because you block them. Or it's something that they feel very overwhelmed about. What about the Chariot in reverse? Yeah, the King of Pentacles. What actions will this person take towards you? Because I honestly don't feel like that this is somebody that can stay in this energy forever. If They may go towards other interests. I'd say that's not what you want to hear, but I feel like you already understand. You already know that about them. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I do feel like that they're going to move away towards other interests, but I feel like they're not going to find what they're looking for. They don't find that sense of home or security that they get from you. And, you know, they see you as being that. And that's very powerful to them, but they don't understand it because they don't understand what a really loving, caring relationship is, and that it has trials and tribulations that you go through. This person is more somebody when that stuff starts to take place, they have a fallback. They have others that they can get attention from. That Five of Swords is like when you don't care about how you're affecting someone else. These two swords on the ground, this person walking away with that Two of Swords here. It's like this person was left with no choice but to walk away. And he's holding three swords there with one in his hand. Like this is like feeling the need to be right, having to be right about a situation. And this person was in that place where they were wanting to be right about so bad. How things were going to transpire or go, how things should go. Compromising. This isn't compromise at all. This person they just wanted to be right. And I think it was because they just wanted to be able to have the space and the time that they needed to have those other interests. This is somebody that doesn't get too attached to anything, but they most definitely are attached to the feeling that they get from you. But it's just the same way they're attached to others and the feeling they get from others. It's just yours is different because it provides security and comfort and stability. You're coming across as the Queen of Cups. She's the nurturer, the lover, the supporter. She's the one that you go to if you just want somebody to listen to you. She's Cancer energy. It's the fourth house. It is a home. It's about home. What actions will this person take, if any? The Devil in reverse. The Nine of Wands. Oh. Okay, so this person eventually will get to a point where they get tired of this. And this may be a repetitive cycle, so keep that in mind, but this is just what I'm seeing as far as their actions. The Devil being in reverse is them detaching from the toxicities, detaching from the third-party energies, the, lustful, not loving energies, other attentions from others, or whatever this is. There's just, they're going to get tired of that. And they're going to kind of break free from the Devil here, but I don't know for how long. But I feel like this person, to be honest with you, this feels kind of crappy because it feels like somebody that just, you won't agree with the behavior that they're giving you, and so they just say, well, whatever, and they turn around and go to different get attention elsewhere. And then when they get to where they want to feel that home again, they turn around and come back to you, and they don't want to. You're going to get tired of the Devil because the Devil is the Devil. It's literally there to hurt you. It's gonna hurt you eventually, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally. There's something that's there. It's going to become a toll on you, and that happens to this person. And they get to where they're down on bended knee here. They get to a point to where they can't take anymore, and they want to come back in. But this Ten of Cups in reverse, what they really truly desire in their heart, they're not finding anywhere else. And so, they turn around and come back here. See, this card says broken home that's here, and I think deep down this person really does desire and crave that feeling of home with someone. But but they don't know how to maintain it because this devil keeps getting in the way of their life, and they keep sabotaging that. And until they understand truly the sacrifices or the, what's good for them, and it's not just about like understanding what's good for you, it's understanding of where your values are and where your morals really are and upholding those. And I don't feel like this person upholds those. And that's their own spiritual journey that they have to kind of experience and go on. That has nothing to do with you. You deserve to have someone that is loving and caring and nurturing to you, especially if you're coming across as this Queen of Cups energy where you are that for others. You deserve that energy back. It's like you love this person, but you know that they're not going to change. What is the devil in reverse? What is this person going to release here? It's the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This person may offer, either this has to do with like coming together and being family, or this is someone that's saying they want to offer you, how do I explain that? It's like no longer being free. It's that. Let's say that, okay? It's like someone that's saying, I offer an apology for the energy here that I was bringing. And this is a greedy energy. And it comes to like, I was, just wanting to be free, just wanting to explore, do whatever, for some of you. And I apologize for that. So this is like somebody coming in and apologizing for their bad behavior, basically. But, okay, I'm landing on the Queen of Cups. And the Magician. And the Two of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yep. Okay. Let's figure out what's going to happen here. That Queen of Cups with that Magician, I feel like that this person will it be in an energy eventually of, if they're not yet, trying to manifest you back. Again, that Queen of Cups, they're trying to manifest that energy back. So let's see what's going to happen here. She's a heartbreaker. It doesn't say she's a, it says he's a, right? He's. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? You're a, that's what it says. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. This person may have fed you a lot of dreams, a lot of fantasies, like false illusions of the future, Okay, what's going to happen here in the future for pile 4 in this person? Heartbreak. What's going to happen here in the future for pile 4 in this person? Divine timing. Home. Imagine that. I want to see something real quick. I think there's going to be a significant transformation that takes place. I do feel like it's on this person's side, and I feel like there's going to be like this disappointment that happens. I think this person's going to have some realizations when it's too late. And I think they're going to lose an opportunity here with you because they didn't want to change. They didn't want to change. They're reliving the same pattern. This is definitely somebody that self-sabotaged. And they may self-sabotage not only with you, but in other areas in their life. I mean, this is somebody that they really let the devil whisper in their ear, Tell me about they have a demon on their shoulder over here, and that's, Tell me about the heartbreak. Can you clarify that? Yeah, the High Priestess. You know this. I feel like you already kind of are aware of this. Pisces energy. Look at that. 6 of Cups in the reverse. That's emotional baggage from the past. That's a experience that's being relived. This is an apology as well, like being regretful, of the past. This is somebody sitting in regret and going through this understanding in themselves, because I feel like they may come back with this an apology here, but it may be after you already completely release this person. And it's like, you're not going to be able to change the situation now, how you see or feel about them. They've kind of like ruined it for you. They ruined it. And this is the six of Cups is a soulmate connection, and it's like they've ruined the possibilities of what this could have been. Tell me about the divine timing, please, for future energies. 6 of Swords. And the Page of Swords just fell out in my lap. So I feel like, in general, that this is definitely a higher lesson for this person. That 6 of Swords is the one that's here. So by the time this person starts to finally move away from the conflict or the negativity, finally starts to transition into their new way of thinking and how they're seeing things, I feel like the realization, this message here, comes too late. 83 could be relevant. It's the address. It's the Knight of Wands in reverse. And the Hermit. And the Judgment in reverse. What happens is it makes this person fall back into understanding and realizing where they went wrong, like their behavior. That Knight of Wands is someone that has very inappropriate, or they just kind of go after whatever they want, and they don't think about anybody else and how they're affecting anyone else there. It's just impulsive. This person is just very impulsive. And because of all this and what happens in the future, and this person taking too long to come to you, and you've already transitioned, you've already kind of moved on from it, it's gonna make this person do some deep soul searching here about who they are as a person and how they want to represent themselves. I hate to say this, because I know this hurts, but I feel like the experience with you will eventually turn them into a better person. It's just, that just sucks to have to hear that, Tell me what this person would say to Paul for warning. Yeah, they know they're a big walking red flag. I see life differently now. I fantasize about you. I feel like this person fantasizes about you when they don't have you, though. It's this constant understanding this person just wants the things that they don't have. That is a very toxic trait. It's also like a significant trauma that this person may have experienced in their life in some way, where they go after things that they can't have. Constantly being in that space, it helps them to support their ego, helps them to it's where they get their confidence from. But it's like becoming someone they really aren't, so others will like them. And this may be something to do with that. It could have been a parent or someone around them, or they just had to present themselves in a certain way, or they felt like they needed to present themselves in a certain way. They could have a parent that has imposter syndrome, and they've kind of grown up with that, seeing that person play that role that they really aren't, but they never could really fully live up to that. It could be somebody that they saw attach themselves to other people. So this can be like when you see a parent, like you grow up with a parent where they, when they have a new friendship, they attach themselves to that partnership or that friendship, and they almost become that other person. And then they have a falling out of some sort, and then they go on to the next person, and they go on to the next person. They don't really have their own identity. Okay, I'm going to get out of that because that can go off into, we don't want to go off into all that. This is supposed to be a person reading about your person, but we have soulmate here. So this person does feel this connection here with you. They do feel like that you're a soulmate. They just don't know how to treat their soulmate or deal with that. Thank you for leaving me. Yeah, there you go. Eventually this person will come to this conclusion, but this could take forever, you know, and you don't want to wait around for that. You didn't see my tears. Yeah, this is someone that won't show you their emotions or affection openly. Apology, you can expect the apology you want to hear, and then self-care. So it's like you may accept this person's apology for their behavior and accept who they are, but also knowing that is who they are. And if something's going to change, it's not going to be on your watch, or they would have done it by now, you know? Like, you're not going to downgrade yourself just to have this person. I mean, you can't, at this point, you can't trust it. At this point, you would only be hurting yourself, keeping yourself stuck in that situation, you know? Okay. And you may have some kind of new love coming in. Let's see what comes out. What advice can you call for about this? Those two cards, they flew like crazy. Sudden shift, number 6. Number 6 could be a number you're seeing a lot of. Your current reality is shifting towards something very different from what you had anticipated. It will be for your highest good. We have boundaries. So maintaining your boundaries is good. Always. Number 11, when you don't protect or overprotect your boundaries, your needs go unmet. Review and renew your boundaries here. So this may have been a big lesson to you about where your boundaries are. Obviously. Number 78, find your target. When you're in alignment with the universe, you will not miss your mark. Get clear on your desires and intentions. So make sure that you're also understanding and being clear about what it is that you really want when it comes to a connection. And I think you're understanding what you don't want here with this person. Number 21, open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide you in your soul's growth. So you may be opening up to new things or opening up more to your spiritual gifts or spiritual nature here through this experience and through this lesson. 21 is the World in Tarot, so going into a new chapter, closing this chapter out. So the only charms that I have here, I'm not a morning person, and then the new moon to me. So having a new beginning here, and I'm not a morning person. So slowly but surely kind of starting over, starting fresh, I feel like is something that's here in a new beginning. But you don't have to just take off, okay? You don't have to force yourself. Make sure that you are going through what you need and understanding what you learned here and being good to yourself, taking care of yourself. We have NJ here, so New Jersey. V HEQ L W or an M and F. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave you right here. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.